Welcome back to the Fan Speak Network. Another episode of Sibling Showdown. That's right. This is Steve and I's second BBM6 together. We did one for opening day on Monday, but we're back every Thursday. Sibling Showdown, BBM6 in just 1 minute. That's right. It's Thursday. It's Sibling Showdown. Another BBM6. Steve, I know you've been in the streets a little more than me. ADPs are adjusting. They're moving. We're trying to keep up. What are you thinking about all the ADP shifts?
Yeah, I think for some, get it while it's hot, get it early, because guys that are probably just going to keep going up. Travis Hunter probably being the biggest one of those. I've still gotten him a couple times in the 50s. I don't think he'll stay there for too long. Some other ones, I think you can maybe wait it out. It might settle a little bit more, not just with some of the rookies, but also some of the vets who, we're just not sure exactly where they'll end up. Jaden Reed for the Packers should probably fall a little bit. Guys like Jalen Warren, Tyron Tracy should fall a little bit. Other later receivers like Jalen McMillan, he just hasn't fallen enough yet. So yeah, it's situations like that. I want to wait on some of the guys who I think are going to continue to go high. Grab them now because they're only going to go up from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there are so many situations that we don't know, like if things could still change, like does Dallas bring in another running back better than the ones they have? There's things like that where I'm like off some of these like guys that could maybe be traded to the Cowboys, and you never know. So I need to be kind of open to getting different combinations, I think, because I'm gravitating to kind of some of those early values, like you mentioned. Let me say hi to the chat before we get started. We got Hartman, GM, good to see you. Yes, Meg is running late again. That is why I have to talk fast to make up for it. Always good to see you, Mike Robb. Always good to see Chad Candles in chat, Omega King, Who Hames, Paul, let's see, 20-second clocks. No time to slow down. Absolutely. I am having fun with trying the 20-second clocks. I do think it would be harder on stream, but if you want to join us, put in chat what you would prefer, 20-second or 30-second. We'll appeal to whoever wants to draft with us, which we will get in a draft BBM in a minute. Put in the chat if you prefer 20-second or 30-second. I think on streams it'll be a little more difficult, but the 20 seconds are fun. You definitely have to be ready. I made a massive queuing error for one of my 20 seconds, and I took like Caleb Williams because I think I got DJ Moore, and I took like Caleb Williams in like the 50s or something like that. So hey, we've all made our star mistakes. He's waiting for 11 in a 30-second right now. So maybe we'll do 30-second. Maybe we can get in with Paul. I have it up in a minute, but yeah, if you want to jump in with us, I will bring it up now. We will do BBM. I do want to get people's feedback on what other contests, because quite honestly, I would like to do some other contests other than BBM for Sibling Showdown as well. So also put in the chat if you guys are interested in, like, I think a lot of people are waiting for the schedule, which is in like 2 weeks away, I believe. But if you'd prefer like the marathon, the sprint, I think I'd like to mix in a lot more of those for sure. So with that said, though, let's see if we can catch Paul. And I'm clicking 30-second, and I'm going to hit it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to join us, I hit the 30-second clock. I don't know if we're in with Paul or not, but it is waiting for 9. So if it is the one with Paul, we're in with Paul. If you want to join us, I'm in the 30-second one. We are waiting for 9. So yeah, Hartman says 30 probably is better, so you can talk through the picks. Yeah, I agree. I think for content, the 30-second is a little better. In the privacy of your own, like ripping drafts at home, yeah, I'd say 20 seconds are fun. So yeah, I think it's. I'll probably do more 20 seconds when I'm on my own, but 30 seconds for when we're on stream. Go ahead.
And well, I know a lot of streamers talk about like in 20 seconds, which I get. But today we're only going to do one draft. In days where we'd maybe do like 2 or 3, like do longer ones. That's a good point. Doing 20 seconds to get 3 in, like in under 2 hours, you can get 3 in if you really go bam, bam, bam. So I get that. But for a day that we're only going to do one, 30-second makes a lot of sense. And especially for the BBM, like if we're starting to do like lower lower value things like German Shepherds and Poodles, maybe we can do some more of the 20 seconds as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let me pull it over so we can watch how many more we have. Oh, geez. If we're in the one with Paul, then this one is struggling to fill. So, Paul, you have to let us know, did yours start, or are we both waiting for the same thing? Because we're still waiting on 8. So yeah, if you want to join us, we've got plenty of room in here waiting on 8 for BBM, 30 seconds BBM. Yeah, Omega King said he would watch Eliminator. I know, check out Fantasy Football Garage is doing 4 eliminators to celebrate 100 subscribers tomorrow. So definitely check him out. Steve and I will be joining him. Emo Calvo will be joining him. PPR Tyler, BBG, Cody off the Shine. So definitely check out his eliminator stream tomorrow night. I'm leaning towards I love the marathon just because I think you're rewarded for just, obviously you have to have luck with like staying healthy, but I like the marathon probably the best. But I am really intrigued by the sprint too, because I mean, we all talk about pod luck and that kind of stuff. If you have any issues with pod luck, the sprint is definitely fun, kind of obviously once we get the schedule in about 2 weeks, I believe it's May 14th. So yeah. In 2 weeks, we will know the schedule. I think that's going to be a lot of more helpful for whether you're interested in eliminator, sprint, marathon. It's going to be a lot more helpful to know those bye weeks, and especially for like stuff like the sprint, to know that playoff schedule. So I'd like to do those too. So yeah, if anybody's interested in sprint or marathon, let us know what you like, either on Twitter, DM me here, because we do want to mix up just more than, I think a lot of the streams out there are BBM. And then I know a lot right now, a lot of people are ripping puppies and schnauzers, and we'll do that too as more, breeds come on board here. But yeah, I would like to do some more of those flagship contests. And my favorite is probably the marathon and then the sprint. So how about you, Steve? Are you going to do much more of the sprint or the marathon outside of BBM?
I definitely think probably the marathon the most, but I like the sprint as well a lot. Both completely take away pod luck. Also, weekly winners. It's another thing that once the schedule comes out, I haven't done any yet. I'll definitely be doing that. As well. Obviously, that's a little bit different. And that's the thing. We're going to cover all these different tournaments on some of the key strategies. We'll probably even have different rankings for some of the different tournaments.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. Yeah.
And then different strategies to target for these kind of different tournaments, because you absolutely do want to build differently. I was doing a little research for the eliminator, in part because we're going to be on the stream on Friday, and if you look at the top 12 running backs in total points last year versus top 12 receivers, only one of the 12 running backs through the first 3 weeks had 10 or more fantasy points in every single game. I'm sorry, only one of the top receivers, and that was Justin Jefferson. I think it was 8 of the 12 running backs had 8 or 9 of the 12 running backs had 10 or more fantasy points in every game. So in something where you're looking for a good established floor, you definitely want to target running backs there. To get you through those like 50-50 contests.
Right. No, that makes a ton of sense. And obviously stuff like so yeah, Paul said, and first of all, good point. The 20-second clock is the default. So that is going to feel quicker. And I think people do enjoy the 20-second clock for just a quicker draft. So we are down to, oh, wow, went back to 7. It was down as low as 4. We're back down to 6. So again, if you want to join Paul and us, we are in the 30-second, it's back down to 6. But yeah, he's right. Like, it's the default. And it's what a lot of people are enjoying right now. Yeah. To Hartman's point, marathon is cool. Preferred drafters format, better prize pool. Yeah, they have a much bigger prize pool. But the thing I will say, like, if you got third in the draft, and I like drafters too. I'm a half point PPR girl, whether you want to call it God's game or whatever. I know people joke about it. I really do like the touchdown hunting. The PPR does kind of break my brain. My results are much better on half point PPR. Always have been, honestly, with even like FanDuel DFS, underdog versus DraftKings and drafters. So, I think I have a large enough sample size that I think that plays to my strengths better or whatever. So anyways, I do like the marathon. And I will say I believe the marathon is less than half the size of the drafters one. And if you got
Mm-hmm.
third place in the drafters, like its top prize is 500, 300, and 100. So it's like if you got the third place in the drafters, and it's the same as first place in underdog, but you're going up against literally less than half the people. Not knocking that. I mean, again, I'd love $500,000 for sure. And I probably will do some drafters, but I think I'm going to, as far as some volume, going to have volume on the marathon. Just we're only competing about, there's 75,000 total entries, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty flat payout structure. And still 6 figures, 100K up top. So, that's what I like. But to your point, definitely different strategy for marathon. Anybody who's got suspension risks, rookies, you might want to like not overload on rookies as much because the post-buy rookie bump. Like I actually did have a top 130 team, I believe, in the marathon last year. And I had, I think, 2 or 3 rookies. One of them was Ladd, who did have like a post-buy, it really was like a post-buy rookie bump for Ladd McConkey. So, but you can't overload, you certainly have to like, weight floor and ceiling a little bit more, weight like injury prone guys, suspension prone, rookies, like be a little more cautious about that. So there is like, to your point, just different rankings for them for sure. Boy, I'm glad we jumped in this when we did. So Paul said he likes a new Eliminator format. He might max it. I think Eliminator, so the way I'm handling Eliminator and weekly winners, to me, that's just like my fun value. Like, think there is a little luck involved. So like, I'm just like, that's going to be my fun, like weekly sweat value. And, where I'm going to try to break my brain, make rankings, that kind of stuff. I'm going to lean more into the marathon sprint. And I'm going to do some BBM, but honestly, most of my BBMs are going to be a stream. Most of my bankroll, because we all have to make decisions, right? Not everybody has, unlimited bankroll. And so with your bankroll, you got to decide how you want to allocate it. And for me, it's going to be like the really good advance rate contests, like 1 of 5, 1 of 6. And once you get to playoffs, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 2 of 8, 2 of 10, that kind of stuff. That's how I successfully made the Bulldog finals last year. And then again, the marathon and sprint, because then if, the pod luck doesn't break your way, you're still like alive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You had that one really good team in marathon, like you said, and you also had a sprint that made it to the playoffs. Unfortunately, that team did get a lot of injuries down the stretch.
I had a lot of injuries.
But the point is, you only did like 2 of those.
I didn't do many. So
because it was $50 last year. Now with it being 20, like and just knowing the format now, like you could do more. And if you end up with, say, because your potential advance rate is just the same as any tournament, 2 of 12. So if you're doing that and you're getting, and ideally we're getting above that, as we did last year, like if you're getting more and more teams into the playoffs, it just takes one to just really have that three weeks to really hit, instead of just worrying about what pod you're in and stuff like that.
Yes, Andrew, 32nd draft. We're now waiting for 4. We're in with Paul. So 4 more for the 32nd BBM. If you want to join us, check out Andrew and Justin did their first live draft Monday, did a kind of ADP analysis last night. Spread and Tyler did their first DK draft on Tuesday. So again, we're going to have tons of stuff on the channel. DK, BBM, marathon, sprint, different dog breeds. We're going to have rankings for everything starting Monday. We're going to have a best ball subscription starting Monday. We have a rookie series up. We already have 3 of the rookie videos up. We'll have probably 3 more by Saturday, and we're going to do 10 of those. And then we're going to break down the rookies by quarterbacks and tight ends, running backs, receivers. So we're doing that next week. So again, you'll have uploaded content, shorts, live drafts, obviously strategy videos. Like you're going to get a little bit of everything on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed or tell a friend. We certainly appreciate We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we'll do a 24-hour stream when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So definitely, tell a friend if you are in the best ball space. We certainly appreciate it. And I like this episode, of course. Check out these rookies. We already have, we did Travis Hunter, RJ Harvey, and Caleb Johnson are already up. Cam Scattaboo and Trey, help me out, Steve.
Trey Harris.
Trey Harris will be up by Saturday, tomorrow and Saturday. All right. So Andrew is in with us as well. We're down to 3. I love it. Got to say hi to our guy, Jamie. Always love seeing Jamie. What's up, peeps? Good to see you as well. So let's see. Paul says the Eliminator does have the benefit that it pays out earlier and potentially for many weeks. So yeah, I guess you get the payout once you're booted, right? Is that, I assume?
No, it should be as it goes, similar to that's the way the Eliminator was last year. Obviously, a much different format.
Okay,
but yeah,
Steve made the Eliminator finals in the classic format, the classic Eliminator format last year, and so you're saying as the payments started hitting, you got like a payout each week for it. Okay, got it. Okay, I didn't realize that. I have never cashed in. I didn't do much Eliminator the last year or two. I only like sprinkled it, but I believe the Eliminator payouts start week 4. It's like half, and then starts week 4, and then payouts go from there. So Andrew says, the more I look into Caleb, the more I like him and the scheme of Pittsburgh. Yes, check out the video, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Check out, we just uploaded the Caleb Johnson video. We broke down the usage that Najee Harris got. If he gets the same usage, we feel like he could do as much or more than Najee did. This scheme is perfectly fit. This zone scheme is perfect fit for him. We feel like he's going to have that 1A volume role. Absolutely love Caleb Johnson, and he's going still around pick ADP, 80 ADP. So I believe you and I got him in our last draft pretty much, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I know we've gotten him in something, and so I think it was that. But yeah, no, the thing with Caleb Johnson and the other thing that we mentioned in the video is, last year Naj got had to deal with Justin Fields the first 6 weeks. So, that whether it's Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph, we're not getting a quarterback stealing that kind of yardage. And I think, Fields had 5 or 6 touchdowns in that time. So definitely wheels up for Caleb.
Yeah, absolutely love. Mike Robb says Andrew's just trying to suck up to Caleb because he was hating on Cam last night. Absolutely hysterical. Hartman says, shocking that Scatabo wasn't your the first video out. That is shocking. We were trying to show a little restraint. Travis Hunter, who we are obsessive about, was the first one. Then RJ Harvey, because obviously his price skyrocketed. Now we're trying to, let the market settle a little bit. Then Caleb Johnson, and then it'll be Scatabo, and then it'll be Trey Harris, and then there'll be 5 more. And then we'll cover all the rookies by position. So we're getting all. So look for those uploaded videos too. They're obviously not live. There's 3 up already. There'll be 2 more, probably one tonight, one tomorrow. So check those out because they're just short 10-minute videos about basically us gushing about why we like these players, why we're targeting them. And Andrew hit on basically the reason why the scheme fit, the landing spot. They still had day 2 draft capital. I really feel like he's going to slot perfectly into that Najee role. Good to see DJ Quill in chat. Appreciate seeing you in chat as well. Yeah, Huhaim says Caleb got the best fit he could have. Yeah, I mean, I remember watching those underdog breakdowns early in the draft, like the big board draft season, and really being impressed with Caleb Johnson. But then he didn't have the fast 40 time, and didn't get a lot of pass catching, and so it did need that perfect scheme fit, and we got it. Got the disbanded brotherhood. Dot, always good to see you. What clock it just started, but we are on the 30-second clock, so we are finally starting here. Let me pull this up and see what we got here. Oh, we're at the 12 spot. That's kind of fun because I want to say we had a much earlier spot last time, and then I'll have to log into BBO still. Okay, so let this load. Let me see who is in with us. So let's see. We have Andrew, TD King at 6, Paul, Legion 13 at 7. And then I'm not sure if we have anybody else. And then we are at the 12 spot. So we might just have Andrew and Paul in with us, but we appreciate you being in with us. If you are in with us, let us know in the chat. But yeah, we are in the 12 spot, Steve, which I think will be fun. Something different.
I actually, and look, we've actually seen it the last couple of years. 2 years ago at the turn, if you hit that Lamb Amon-Ra start and then, build out from there, that was great. Last year at the turn, there are times where you could get guys like Gibbs, guys like Jonathan Taylor at the turn. So there was, some real good combos you could get in the back half.
Yeah. Ben, if you said you're in the lobby, what is your handle? Let us know so we can, as we talk through these teams together. So let us know. Best Ball on Call tried. Oh, I'm sorry we missed you. Good. He said GLGL. So going to be plenty of these streams. Again, almost every single weekday of some contest type or another. But yeah, sorry we missed you. But thank you so much for joining us in chat. Omega King says, sorry, put the wrong one up. He faded Warren and Big Borby also loves the Caleb spot. Yeah. So we're all, question from Jamie, Steve, would you take Caleb or Harvey right now? Harvey is, I think, still going for him a little earlier. I think he's talking specifically Dynasty. I don't play Dynasty. So this has been a tough decision for me in Dynasty.
So for Dynasty, I maybe give the Caleb lean because he's a couple years younger. And that matters a lot in Dynasty and Best Ball. The fact that Harvey is 24 years old doesn't matter a lot to me for this season. But I will say, hearing Sean Payton talk about Harvey is fun. So I think it's very close, but Mike Tomlin and company were very, very bullish on Caleb as well. So the only concern would be if Arthur Smith leaves and the new offense coordinator isn't as perfect of a fit for Caleb Johnson. But as long as Arthur Smith's there or it's a zone scheme, Caleb is in a really, really good spot and is a couple years younger.
Okay, so Ben is in the 10 spot and Hartman is at the 8. So thank you guys for letting me
know. Forget Hartman's name is different. I'm always
I'm always looking for Hartman. So Hartman is DMH09. Yes, 09. So and then wait, did I have that right? So Hartman 8 and
Ben's up right now.
Ben is up at 10. So what's up, Watson, is Ben. He took Derrick Henry at 10, Hartman, Gibbs at 8. We are on the clock. 2 picks, Steve. We got him on route falling to 12. I say that's, so I have him queued. And then, excuse me, Brian Thomas, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Bowers, Drake London.
Thomas. Let's do a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I mean, you and I both tend to lean a little heavily on one running back in the first 2 rounds. So this is fun to get these two, ASB and Brian Thomas Jr. I like that a lot. Well, I'm doing that. I'm going to log into Best Ball Overlay. Always good to see Snowman 1021. He was in with our last draft with us, but always good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us in chat. Let me log in and then you could talk about anything you're seeing on the board, Steve.
Yeah. So just real quick, I mean, I get Derrick Henry getting pulled up, Genti obviously getting pulled up. But boy, I like seeing Amon-Ra fall.
He has been. I mean, it's you're seeing that. Yeah.
It's the Lions didn't add any offensive weapons, so Amon-Ra's role should be the same. Obviously, Ben Johnson, is gone, but just really, really big fan of what we've seen Amon-Ra do in the NFL so far. And Brian Thomas, you talked about it. The post-buy rookie bumps, similar with Thomas, and it happened earlier for him. And that was again with Mac Jones. Yes, Travis Hunter's there, and we love Hunter, but we saw last year Liam Cohen's offense. Godwin and Mike Evans were crushing it when they were together, and even when they were apart, it took a couple weeks, but Jalen McMillan kind of then filled in for the Godwin, and he was getting 20-point games down the stretch. So both of these guys can hit and be big-time fantasy winners.
Let me go to the chat. Yeah, he's Jamie talks about Caleb could go 20 rushes, 75 yards, no touchdown. So I like the upside of Harvey. I diversify, so I went Caleb in one and Harvey in another. I think that's smart. Paul said, I wanted nothing to do with Harvey. Pre-draft contest, 0 exposure, struggling to reconcile his draft capital to my personal ranking. Yeah, I mean, I guess at least the nice part is now, I jumped on Harvey late, so I didn't get the super late Harvey, but I got I'd say the one wasn't even 170 to 150 kind of towards the end. Yeah. So I got the 170 to 150 Harvey. But yeah, I think it's all about where does he fall in your rankings now? Because now we're in a totally different, throw out the big board contest, wherever we're getting those guys, who cares? It doesn't matter. The ADP, this is just brand new ADP starting from Monday. And then we make our decisions from there. So I've only done a few BBM and then I've done some marathon. I don't believe I have Harvey yet, or did a marathon together the other day, Steve? Did we get
marathon? I think we got Harvey in.
Okay. Yeah. So I may have Harvey in one marathon, but that's it. But yeah, I want to try to get him, as you said, as the price has been wild this week, I want to kind of get him to Paul's point, at the right price.
Mhm.
Chad Candle says, Amon-Ra BTJ, such a nice start. Yeah, I kind of like the end of the drafts. Like, I mean, you know, the middle, like when you can get like Andrew did, like Lamb, or Paul did Neighbors, and I believe we got Neighbors the other day too. Like, or I know we got Genty, I think, in our live draft the other day. So I certainly like that. But there's a lot to like about the turn, the turn, which I know people usually don't like, but I actually don't mind the back turn right now. How do you feel, Steve?
No, I'm the same way. I think through the first like 6 rounds, you're getting really good guys that a lot could, you know, go well above where they're being taken. And you know, I think it can be tougher later in the draft, kind of the mid rounds, especially if you haven't hit the, you know, the quarterback position, because you know, you have those rounds where it's 24, you know, 23 picks before you're back on the clock, and we could see 8 quarterbacks go or something like that. So I think you need to be strategic about like that, particularly with the quarterback position. But as long as you hit that right, I think you can do pretty well.
All right, Steve. So we are back up at the turn. Josh Allen fell all the way to, well, no, he's been falling to the third, the quarterbacks. Never mind. So there's the quarterbacks outside of Lamar, DJ Moore, Rashee Rice, Worthy, Hampton. And then, of course, we could do Travis Hunter double stack. Only not 10 seconds for this.
Hunter and
okay.
Allen.
You want to do Allen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, so we did Hunter, Allen. I'm just looking at the board here. So yeah, my bad. Lamar went early. Maybe it's a Q thing. I'm not sure, but Lamar went early. But yeah, I mean, obviously the elite quarterbacks are going more like the end of third, early fourth. So I don't know why my brain wasn't focused there. That's about where the you know, the elites go. But I'm trying to like I did in Big Board. I kept around 8%, like with the field, with all the elites, because I do love that area, and we've talked about it like a gazillion times on these shows. That area of like the 8 to 12 like quarterback zone, where there's so many good quarterbacks that I'm obsessed with. Obviously, we have a Lawrence double stack situated right here. So I like that. But there's so many quarterbacks in the 8 to 12 range, but I do like mixing in the elites around the turn, because that's kind of feels like the nice place to do it, especially for Allen or Lamar, right?
Yeah, I agree. And it like I just said, it's a situation where if you try to wait it out at the quarterback position and at the end there, you could run into a situation where like 10 go off the board before you get back to your pick. So, you know, if we wait to cut into those middle rounds. So, you know, obviously we're still going to look, you know, maybe Goff, definitely Lawrence in the mix, but having Allen just gives us such a ceiling and such a floor at the quarterback position.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to chat really quick. Chad Candles says I had 0 Jaden Blue, and now got to take him, even though I think he stinks. Which I know you think he stinks too. Like, you were shocked by the Cowboys pick, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I thought he was like a 7th rounder, and it's just, I've said it, you know, multiple times. He had 1/6 of the carry, or 1/7 of the touches of Genty, and had more fumbles. And they were much different touches. They were wide open touches in space, not going between, grinding between, you know, the guard and the center, and getting 2 defensive tackles, you know, right in your face. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if he can take on a big role. But right now, there's nobody in the Cowboys I would want to have a big role.
Yeah. Hartman says, I like Harvey anywhere after 70. Can't take him over Junkins, though, with Sean Payton's tendency to use running back by committee. Always good to see our guy Tyler in chat. I know Tyler, PPR Tyler, and Best Ball Guy will be on at, I believe, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So always good to see Tyler. And Tyler will be on with me, Friends of Best Ball, Friday, and then Best Ball Guy will be on with me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. So Friends of Best Ball starts tomorrow. We'll be bringing on someone from the amazing Best Ball community each and every Friday. And yeah, Eric, Best Ball Guy tomorrow, 4 p.m. Tyler, Emo Cowboy next Friday. And I believe I have PPR Tyler, and I'm working on lining up some more here for to kick off the month of May. So Ben, I'm the guy with over 60%. Hey, you got to make your stance. Yeah.
Yeah. Got good value on him, because, you know, I'm sure you're getting him 19th, 20th round with that 60%. And now he's going much higher.
Okay, who Ames agrees with Hartman about Harvey. Paul says, I've been seeing Hurts fall into the 5th post draft. Not sure why. It does feel like he's falling a lot where he went end of like basically at the 4-5 turn here. But yeah, it does feel like that. He was falling a lot at the end of big board and he's still there basically. Tyler says, am I crazy to prefer Harvey over Junkins because pass catching is way higher for Harvey than Junkins just because of college profiles and now offenses? Yeah, I mean, I get it. What do you think, Steve?
So yeah, and to Tyler's point, the Browns offense is probably going to be really bad this year. The Denver offense last year was really good, and that was with the rookie quarterback. No clear weapons behind Courtland Sutton. Mims emerged later, horrible tight ends and bad running backs. Now, Harvey just slides into such a good situation, and Javonte Williams was like 6th among running backs in catches last year, and he couldn't break a tackle to save his life.
Okay, let's finish talking afterwards. Speaking of top of the board is Henderson, Walker, Kamara, Harvey, Junkins. They won't come back to us if you want any of them. Then you got Rome.
Oh, let's do Harvey for sure.
Okay, you want to pull Harvey up here at the 60-61, and then who else do you want here? We got Rome, we got Chris Godwin, we've got Debo, Juwan Jennings.
I would probably go another running back here, just double tap it here.
That's fine with me.
I'm good with Kamara. We could do Henderson. I'm okay with Henderson. I like Henderson more in the 60s than 55, 56, whatever his current ADP is. So
okay, so it's Henderson, Walker, Kamara, and Junkins at the top.
Oh, let's do Walker. I think Seattle improved their offensive line. I don't think it's going to be a great offense, but I feel a little bit better about it than some of these, a little bit, say Kamara. Well, I'm a big Kamara fan. Saints could just be another team that's just real bad this year.
Yeah, to Tyler's point, I I agree. Junkins, Ceilings, Chubb, who was awesome, but not with a terrible QB. And this year it's looking rough. So I love Junkins and the prospect of Quinshon Junkins, but I agree with him that like you guys, like you said, and like Tyler's saying, the offense, it feels stinky to be attached to. I do like what we did there. So we went Harvey, because again, it's around that ADP we're comfortable with. Like, he wouldn't have obviously come back to us. It wasn't like in the crazies, 40s, 50s. So getting at the 60, 61 turn here feels fine. But then we mixed it with Kenneth Walker for our first two running backs. Star says, explain Burrow before Hurts. No difference between Baker, Burrow. Nice when people pay the rake. I think it's just obviously the turn that a lot of people are doing. Where did
Andrew got Burrow with Higgins, so that's why that was stack. I'm sure.
Yeah, So
the point, like Hurts is, Andrew would prefer Hurts over Burrow, and I think most people would and should. I mean, Hurts has just the highest ceiling. Him and Allen have the highest ceiling.
I think, but to Andrew's point in this, like, I'm going to want some stacks I'm not going to want my Burrow stacks only with Chase. Look what happened in the finals last year.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So sometimes if you can get like a Higgins stack, sometimes if you can get a Chase stack, sometimes if you get them both. I think you want to mix up your stacks with the quarterbacks, and that goes for all the different ones where a lot of them go early, Philly included. Maybe you want some with AJ Brown, some with Devonta Smith, some with Saquon Barkley, or some with multiple. I think it's good to like diversify the team stacks that we really want. And these are top offenses. So, I think we're splitting hairs there a little. Sure. Hurts has obviously the tush push rushing upside, but like we saw Burrow's ceiling this year. So I think he's honestly fair in the range. And if you want to stack them, get to mix up your Bengal stacks, I totally appreciate that and understand that.
And for as much, and I know Paul went Jane Daniels, but for as much as I love Jane Daniels being a Commanders fan and, just what he did as a rookie, Hurts, unless something drastically changes with the tush push, just has such a higher rushing touchdown upside than Daniels. So, I think they're very close. But yeah, I agree with the Hurts falling to me is pretty crazy. He should be going around Jaden.
Yeah, Andrew says I do prefer Hurts over Burrow, but I had to have the Higgins stack. Yeah, I think, and I knew that about you because I know you're sharp, and it's just like mixing up the different stacks that your different Burrow exposures. Again, I think some you want with Chase, some with Higgins, some with both. And then for the times that he falls too far, I don't mind taking Burrow and then backstacking him with Gesicki and, stuff like that. So I think it's fine mixing up. Stars thinks he's going to be in the 70s come August. I don't know. I think because these quarterbacks that are buoyed up by their stack partners going above them, I don't know that they're ever going to really fall that far, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree with the general point that Burrow and Baker are very close. They are like the two quarterbacks without major rushing upside that have top 5 ability.
But they have, top 5 ability. Yeah, for sure.
But, and so, but it's just because, particularly with Chase and Higgins typically being at the turn, it's hard to push them. If you were a team, that either has both of them or just one of them, it's hard to imagine them coming back in 23 picks. So that's the other thing that helps, where like Baker has more stacking options and they go like a lot of times we're in the middle of these rounds. And so it can be easier to just wait it out a bit.
Okay, so we're on the clock. Shakir's there, but he is a floor play I don't love Shakir, but I think Jaden Reed needs to fall. I think Ayuk needs to fall. There's Hawkinson and Mbuka. There's some running backs that need to fall. Josh Downs, Mooney. We do need to make 2 picks. So if you want one of them to be Shakir, he's fallen.
Shakir, I think that's a safe play.
Okay, I'm going to let the clock play out then. What else do you want to do? Because I don't, I think we should most likely go our other quarterback spot. We have the double stack set up with. So other spots are, again, Jaden Reed, which I don't like, Hawkinson and Mbuka, running backs that need to fall, Caleb, Josh Downs, Mooney. We could pull up DeAndre Swift, but that feels a little early for that too.
I like either Hawkinson or Mooney.
Hawkinson. I'm just putting them in to kind of decide here. How many? Okay, so we have a 1, 2, 4. I don't have much Hawkinson yet. Let's go Hawkinson. Right at ADP. So that's fine with me. Let's go.
And it's a way to get exposure. I mean, potentially another stack option if we get, if we lose out on Lawrence, but also just a way to get exposure to what should again be one of the top, 10, 12 offenses in the league, Minnesota. I mean, that offensive line is now so stacked. Jefferson and Addison are really good. JJ McCarthy, if he's healthy, I think he could have a nice year. Now, I do believe they won't throw as much, but I think Hawkinson's fine, and it's a multi-round discount from the Kittle Laporta range, and now we don't have to take one of these tight ends in a couple rounds who are a little bit more volatile.
Okay, we got Fantasy Football Garage again. Check out his stream tomorrow night, starting at, I believe, 9:45 Eastern, 8:45 Central. Always good to see you. Thank you. Omega King says, I do think Burrow does eventually fall. If not, I can draft the stack at ADP in August. Tyler talks about every year the overpriced pocket passers fall eventually. Even Hurts and Allen fell from the early to mid-second to third in their boom years. So let's see. Last year, Burrow was in the 70s. By mid-July, he was in the 90s. So that is the trickier thing also. And that's why I love the time box contest so much, is there's not the fluctuation of, BBM is going to be open from Monday to Labor Day, basically. And, and so, you are going to have different ADP combinations, to their point, with, I know Tyler posted something about he got sniped on Burrow right before he had a Chase Higgins stack, and that would have been in the 70s. So you get people that have a Chase Burrow stack with the 70s. So that's why, honestly, me personally, I like the time box contest a lot better than BBM, because you are just there is that aspect to think about too. And I like thinking about the time box, whether it's getting people that maybe nobody's really taking, and you're getting a sub 20% per player, or again, pretty much all the ADPs are more similar or something. That's So just a time box fangirl comment there, because there is going to be the range of that for sure.
No, there's a lot of value in the ones that and also that are going to fill quickly.
Those ones that fill in a few days. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, for instance, even the Schnauzer, pretty much everyone's going to draft that without knowing the bye weeks. You know, it's already
Right.
like 16, 70% full. There might be a few percentage points by the time the buys hit, but almost everyone will have drafted it before the bye weeks hit.
Candyman says, I don't know how Burrow falls unless we all agree to push him to round 6. BB, or Best Ball in Colorado says, deal. Yeah, to Tyler, Fantasy Football Garage, if and when ranks push them down. Because, yeah, I mean, a lot you are going to see market move based on ranks. So Tyler makes a great point there. Yeah, which if you want mad engagement on X, which is impossible these days, post anything about Snipe. Yeah, I liked your post the other day, Tyler. Okay, we are back, almost back on the clock. Damn, Jordan Mason went right before us. Our guy Camp Scattaboo went in the 90s, so Mike Robb can't call me a total stalker. You know, we didn't reach for him in the 80s, so we showed a little self-restraint there. So that's nice. Speaking of who did fall, Tyrone Tracy, who I think he should. So we got a 1-2-4-1 going, 108, 109. Still too early for Lawrence, even with our double stack. So I don't really want to push Goff here. Other than that, we've got Christian Kirk, Shaheed, Tyler Warren, Charbonnet, Evan Ingram. I don't like this area.
I don't mind Charbonnet, but I also don't mind. We could do Evan Ingram and just be done at tight end.
Yeah, let's do that and then think about the Charbonnet pick. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't typically do the 2 mid-range tight ends, but let's do that. And then, so we got 1-2-4-2. We got Charbonnet at 109. That's Kirk's, you know, but I don't know how I feel about that. And then Shaheed and Mims and that whole range.
Yeah.
So do you want one of them or do you want Charbonnet?
Let's take Charbonnet just because we only have 2 running backs and one's a rookie so far. And we already have two bets on the
wait, we already have, okay, we just did a handcuff. We have Walker.
I totally forgot about that.
We fucked up. I mean, listen, you can, yeah. Best Ball and Call knows. I mean, Steve and iron is not sharpening iron today.
Yeah, that's my bad. I was just thinking that we already have 2 Denver players and not to do Mims. And yeah, I just don't really love the receivers in that range too much. Shaheed's okay, but just not my favorite.
He tried to help us. And
I appreciate
that. Could have pulled a Jags running back for correlation. Yeah, I'm so like there are at this point of best ball season, which is obviously the first week of official best ball season, my brain is kind of broken on these certain situations, like the Jags running back situation. I don't know. I do think we need to wait Tootin more. Obviously, we're going to be putting out our rankings Monday. I don't know, but it's crowded, and they still drafted. Who did they draft super late too? So they essentially have
Allen.
Yeah, so they have 4 running backs, 2 rookies. Tootin was obviously a priority day 3. Like one of the first picks of day 3, round 4. Obviously the GM was like, you know, talked about him in his interview and stuff like that. So I don't know. There are certain rooms I do not know what to deal with, what to do with. And same with these crowded receiver rooms. Like I have not gotten much of like the Bears or the Packers or the Texans receiver rooms because my brain's kind of broken. I have done like Buck stacks, but mainly with just Evans and Godwin, not like Mbuka or like, you know, I know we're pushing down McMillan. So I don't know. I am post draft. I'm admitting it. I'm just putting my hand up. I'm admitting that I'm like kind of struggling with some of these crowded rooms, crowded running back rooms, crowded receiver rooms. I am kind of struggling, and hopefully me working through my rankings and our rankings, we'll each have our own rankings that come out Monday, will help that process. But I don't know. How are you handling that, Steve?
Yeah, no, right now I'm kind of essentially targeting a couple guys. And if the ADPs make sense, you know, like I'm fine for the Packers, like Golden kind of where he's going. I want Reed to kind of be more in the 80s, where he went 89. So I'd be fine with that there. But the other ones, Dobbs and Wicks, you know, right now I'm probably going to be kind of out on them just because I think one could emerge and have fantasy relevance, but almost guaranteed both won't. And same with some of these other situations, like, you know, Houston, obviously Nico's fine. I'm okay with Jaden Higgins where he's going. But yeah, I'm not just bullish on Kirk or Noel, even though I like both players, just don't like what they're competing against right now.
Yeah. And again, thank you. Best phone call. Hey, maybe we get a situation where Walker gets traded to the Cowboys. A girl can dream, maybe.
Or
Probably not.
Charbonnet.
Or Charbonnet, girl can dream. It's probably not going to happen. But all right, I think I caught up with most of the other chat, but a few more to get to. Who do you prefer drafting, B-Rob or Eckler? Who Aim says Eckler smashed at the end of the draft. I would agree. I mean, God, even in the playoffs, B-Rob was getting like, he's never like smashed his value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Number one. Number two, who is that like third running back that they were
Jeremy
missing?
McNichols.
Yeah, Jeremy McNichols was taking work from him in like playoffs, like big games. Yeah. So yeah, Best Ball and Call agrees with Who Hames that smashing Eckler currently. Yeah. Now that Steve and I were both, as Washington fans, thought they were going to take a running back day 1, day 2, early day 3. It did not happen. So, always I'm super excited they drafted that tackle in round 1, but like, you never know, like if certain things would have gone differently, maybe they would have been interested in a running back earlier, but it wasn't until the 7th round. So with that said, now I am interested in Eckler. I still don't have a ton of interest in B-Rob though, just because he's just never done much with it. And which is why we wanted a more explosive back to kind of replace him. Tyler says we've had less than a week to digest the info and we're about to get a lot more in the summer. Wouldn't have super strong takes outside like 3 situations. Yeah. And that's why I'm hoping like finishing the ranking process will help me personally. That's why I think a lot of like people are easing in. You'll hear people say they do a lot early and then they kind of not fully barbell it, but like take a little break until the schedule comes out, which is again 2 weeks or so. So that makes sense because it lets you like wrap your head around information, get more information. You get why people do like a lot of certain amount each month or barbell or do that kind of stuff because God, when it is not a time box contest like BBM, it is really hard to this early to like, there are certain guys who are like, oh, let's take advantage of Hunter. Let's take advantage of, Caleb Johnson, Scattaboo, these other guys we like, but there's other situations where we're still trying to figure it out ourselves, to be quite honest. So, all right. So we are about to be back up, Steve. We are at pick 132, 133. If Hammer Time does not draft Lawrence, he is there to complete our double stack. We got a 134 with the Seattle handcuff situation. Probably should look at another receiver, but I don't really like that there. So let me talk that through with Lawrence queued up. So we have McMillan, Jack Besh, who I like. McMillan, we don't obviously at this price. And then receivers like Quentin Johnson, Leggett, that are like way further down the board. So it would just be Besh for me. I'm taking Lawrence unless you wanted to like just for the stacks, like, but I don't think with spending on Allen, we should do that. So I'd say Jack Besh. What do you think?
Let's do Besh.
Yeah. I know we have some more like wiggle room with, stopping at 2 tight ends. So yeah, we have a 2, 3, 5, 2, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, both stacked, Lawrence double stacked, Harvey, the Seattle Seahawks running back room. Maybe one gets traded, probably not. Amon-Ra, BTJ, Travis Hunter, Khalil Shakir, Jack Besh, Hawkinson, Ingram. So I'm okay with it. I mean, we've made some mistakes, but I'm okay with it overall.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Seattle, look, by only doing 2 tight ends, we can do 6 running backs if we feel we need to.
Yeah.
Or if we feel we get 2 other good ones, we can still stop at 5 and take an extra receiver. I mean, I think our receivers are fine. I mean, Betch is, look, a lot of beat reporters and stuff think he's going to have a pretty good role for the Raiders.
To this point, I do I'm excited about Jack Besh. So I'm fine with him here. He is getting pulled up, so I'm fine with him at this price. Tyler says, Bears could use another running back that doesn't suck. i.e. Sharp. So, I mean, goodness, I would absolutely love that. That's another thing with these, like with BBM and drafting early, it's like, I'm still not convinced Bears, Cowboys, some running back and receiver rooms, Cowboys receiver or running back room, Bears running back room. The Jags are loaded. Seahawks, like Who Hames has DMart bags, would love Sharps in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, we had DMart bags from Big Board. We would love that too. So yeah, that was really rough for Martinez for sure. Paul makes a good point, and you and I definitely lean into like like the double anchor running back build and like stopping at 5. I've done some honestly, my Bulldog team was a 3-4-8-3, hyper fragile, got 3 in the first 4 rounds and stopped at 4. So this is a great time of year to do 4 or 5 early running back rooms, because we know the more information then. Yeah. We're talking about some of these things could change with, other running back situations, but I do think this is a good time of year, as Paul mentioned, to do the 4 or 5 early running backs for sure. Debesh mode. That's good. That's good. I like that. That's very good. Let's check out what other people in the chat are doing in the draft. Now that we're through, after this, we'll be through, 2/3 of the way through 12 rounds. So Andrew has Lamb, Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Burrow, Ridley, Junkins, Steph Diggs, Najee, Justin Fields. Justin Fields. So he's got both Burrow and Fields stacked up. I like that. And I like his first 3 receivers too. That's fun. Njoku, Javonte Williams, Ray Davis. Ray Davis is one I need to be taking more of for sure. Excuse me, Paul, Legion 13, Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Kyron Williams, Jaden Daniels, Chuba Hubbard, Chris Godwin, Tony Pollard, our guy, Cam Scatterbo, Trey Harris. Love that pick as well. Jared Goff, Rashad Bateman, and Kyle Pitts. And then, I just read ours and, sorry. Then, Hartman is at the 8 spot. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Bowers, who fell to 17. So that's some nice value there. Devontae Adams, Rashee Rice, Chris Olave, Roma Dunze, Patrick Mahomes, stacked up, Jaden Reed, Brian Robinson, Tracy, Jordan Love, and Jake Ferguson. So he got Love stacked up with, Reed. And then he has Mahomes stacked up with Rice. So I like that. That's a fun start. And then the other was the 10 spot. What up, Watson? Derrick Henry, Ladd McConkey, Mike Evans, James Cook, George Kittle, Travion Henderson, Baker Mayfield, obviously stacked, Darnell Mooney, Jordan Mason. I like that running back pick a lot. Justin Herbert, Kyle Williams, and Tajay Spears. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a fun start for all for all of us. And I like our start, honestly, outside of the double Seahawks whoopsie daisy. So we'll be back up, Steve, at 156 and 157 at the 13-14 turn here in a minute. Let me go back here and see what we got. Wait, what number are we at? We got a
156, 157. Oh, it's at 153 is.
Okay. I got to share this. Why are all these why are all these quarterbacks falling?
That's a fair question.
Well, we have a JJ McCarthy stack, but damn, Dak Prescott going that late is banana lands to me. So I'm just going to literally the whole top of the board. Am I doing something wrong? What's happening? I was like, is purple the only thing that's allowed to be highlighted for me? This is wild. This is the reason why. Okay. So, obviously our only Dak stack would be Tolbert. So I'd say lean into McCarthy here. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's take McCarthy. And then,
he still fell wildly too.
What's running back look like?
Samson, Ford, Braylon Allen.
Go to receiver.
Yeah. There's your guy.
I'm dealing. How can you go wrong?
Steve's part of the fan club. We might just have to do 6 running backs.
I think that makes sense. And now our receiver room, we got upside young guys like Hunter Besh. We got guys.
Yeah, we started Amon-Ra,
Shakir and Thielen. So
Amon-Ra, BTJ, and then the upside of Hunter Besh, kind of a floor of Thielen and Shakir. So I think that's kind of a nice mix. Honestly, if we wanted to do 3, 6, 7, 2 or something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's probably most likely at this point. And I still like getting a third quarterback stack. Definitely now without knowing the buys, and then in general, just a lot of ways when they're stacked up, it can really help you out. But
especially in BBM, I'm a big component. But Huhames is right. The reason they're falling is because a lot of people are switching to 2 quarterbacks, and because we talked about that sweet spot of rounds 8 through 13. look, you can see, I mean, you can see here on the board, so many people did what I talked about, hitting 2 in that area, or even like what Andrew did, like, around like 5 and 9 or something like that. Or a lot of these people in that like 7 through 12 getting 2, like, I think that is super common. So we are going to see fallers. To me, I think we talked about this I think on Monday, like, while I believe there's multiple ways to win, totally respect everybody's decisions on how they want to build their teams. And I am going to try to diversify like my build structures and stuff like that. For me, my success has been 3 quarterbacks. And it's because like last year, and Steve and I went through last year, like quarterbacks actually stayed much healthier. Like, what did we count, Steve? Like 15 did I have the data here? Like something like 15 quarterbacks started 14 or more games, 15 or more games.
I actually want to say when it's 14, I think it's 20. I think it went down to 20 if you did 14 or more. 14.
Okay. So 14 or more games, 20 quarterbacks started 14 or more games. For the whole 17 games, there was still like 14, I think, or something like that. Years past, it's been like 7 to 9, like on average, like 8 or 9 the past 2 years prior to that. And I understand the year before that was like a quarterback apocalypse, but like, if it's somewhere in between, I like having 3 quarterbacks because I wouldn't have made the BBM finals had I not had 3 quarterbacks. That was 2 years ago, BBM 3. I wouldn't have made the Bulldog finals. Both years it was Dak Prescott that got hurt. But yeah, I wouldn't have made the BBM finals. And it would blow your mind that it was Aaron Rodgers' 30-point week 15 game that sent me into the semifinals. And then Justin Herbert carried it from there. So it wasn't like it was like Jaden Daniels or Baker or Burrow. It was like, it was Herbert and Aaron Rodgers. So wild stuff. That's my way of saying, I think it's just natural that you lean into like what's worked for you. I can totally see how 2 quarterbacks works, but I will say in the BBM format, we've talked about this a lot. When you have to get through the gauntlet of 1-13 and 1-16, having 3 stack options just feels a little better to me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And we see it every year. A couple guys going off that
you don't expect.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, week 15, 30-point game. And that was a week with a lot of high scoring point total.
Yeah.
Allen and Goff went for like 40 plus, 50 plus, but still that 30 points got you through, got a lot of people, would get a lot of people through.
Yeah. Tyler says he's been in rooms recently where a full chunk just fall multiple rounds. So it's coming for a lot of them. So that, that's a situation, especially where I have a stack. I'm going to try to take advantage of that, especially in the BBM format. We'll get to these questions in a minute after we make our next pick. So we'll be back up here at, let's see, 181, 181, 3362, top of the board. Yeah. Giddens, Ford, Corum, Shipley. So it's, someone asked about Roshan. I don't mind that, but he's later.
Let's take Giddens or Shipley.
Would you like in Giddens contingent value or
slash?
Because I know you were high on Giddens in general.
Yeah, if we're going 6 running backs, I don't mind Giddens there.
Okay, and then do you want to like pull up Roshan or do you want like?
I wouldn't pull up Roshan this high.
What's that?
I wouldn't pull him up this high.
Wandell, Coker, Io Manor, Wicks, Royals. This is not an area we like to hear. Or you want to pull up? Just pull up Slayton and be done at receiver.
Sure, let's do that and just finalize that and have, I think, a really strong room overall.
This is not my favorite draft, but it is what it is.
But yeah, we're going to get 2 more running backs and, we might need a little help. We definitely have the Seattle starting running back.
We definitely have that. Yeah.
And Denver. But in general, we see this work in times in the past. And obviously last year, if you had both Seattle running backs, you actually did really well because Walker had a number of good weeks and Charbonnet had some really good weeks. Yeah. So you actually did really well.
Let's answer this. How do you feel about Roshan Johnson now the Bears didn't add any talent? Obviously, it was the 7th rounder. And then Jamie says, feeling all my 19th, 20th shares of Roshan, feeling good. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So, right now, nobody's come in. I think that is the worry of whether they wait till the end of camp and bring somebody in who's cut, or they do a cheap trade for somebody, or even if they were to sign like a Dobbins, or some people talk about Nick Chubb, is Roschon likely getting squeezed? But right now I'm taking him. I still would kind of just only take him in the 18th round, but I don't mind taking him right now for sure.
Did he go? Let's see. Yeah,
he went right there at 16. So
would you regret not taking him then, where we took Giddens?
Not particularly, just because this is still one of the rooms that is so uncertain, and I feel like if we can get some certainty with these last 2 picks, like even if it's a clear, solid number 2 back, I'm okay with that. I'd rather do that than risk a situation.
Sure. We appreciate that, Tyler. Hit that sub for support the folks. We appreciate that. We do appreciate the support, of course, on the road to 1K subs, doing 24-hour stream when we hit that. So appreciate that. If you hit the like, hit the subscribe button. And again, we have content every single day, shorts, live drafts, strategy shows, short breakdowns that are uploaded. Again, we have 3 rookies already uploaded, and we'll have a couple more by tomorrow. So we have tons of different types of content for you. We'll have different types of drafts for you, not just BBM, but we have DraftKings. We'll maybe do a little drafters. We will definitely do marathon, sprint. As the different dog breeds are released, we'll do a little bit of everything. So we do appreciate the support, and we will have something for everybody on this channel. Best ball every single weekday. We appreciate the support for sure. Harbin says 3 quarterbacks is also nice when you don't know the bye week. So for sure. Yeah. I mean, especially we went from big board, we're 25% advanced back down to just two of 12 are moving on here. So, certainly I think 3 quarterbacks helps that as well, especially when we don't know byes yet. I think I mentioned this the other day, Steve, but the last 2 years, I think they're both of the last 2 years, our advancement, meaning you and I stream drafts. You and I have a very good advance rate together when we do stream drafts, and that's awesome. But I noticed it was much better earlier in draft season. In fact, our first one the last 2 years has been one of our highest scoring BBM teams. And then our advance rate of the ones that advanced, we advanced 50% of our stream drafts last year, which was awesome. But of those, it was very weighted to the front of end of April, May, and June. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe because we do lean into 3 quarterback more. I'm not sure. I don't know if we were picking out the good ADP values. Like the guy I know, certainly 2 years ago, we were on Laporta late, early. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I can point to any one thing, but maybe it's because we lean into 3 quarterbacks when there is still some mystery. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably that is a factor. I think the strong rookie takes coming off that have been good. And we also generally are drafting with more certainty. The receivers we just took were like Thielen and Darius Slayton. They're both look to be clear starters. Like some of these guys taken in these rounds, Wicks could be a smash or he might not see the field at all, and same with like a rookie like Manor or Coker. We just don't know what those situations are. So you may get paid off by taking those guys, but I think we generally take a little bit more certainty throughout. We like to have some balance for sure, but right now those picks are, maybe come August, we're making those picks just as well because more is being pointed towards that.
All right, we're up in 1, Steve. Can I please take one Nick Chubb share just to, in case he goes to the Bears? I mean, he's leaping around the gym here. I know we got fooled on that last year. I know you think his leg's going to fall off. Can I please just take one Nick Chubb share?
Yeah, no, let's take that. And
then I know you like Taj Brooks, and he went to Cincinnati. I know he's behind Chase Brown, and but I mean, could he not beat out the other 2 guys?
So, the only thing I'd say, yes, he could, but I don't mind taking Ollie Gordon because he's so different than a Chain and Wright. Like,
you didn't like him though as a prospect. You love Taj Brooks as a prospect.
Sure, but Ollie Gordon has a chance to be a poor man's Mostert this year, like that in between short yardage back. We saw they went from one of the highest inside the 5 touchdown rates to one of the lowest.
Do you want to have two rooms, the same, 2 double handcuffs?
It's not terrible, and actually, let's do estimate.
Estimate or Gordon, or
let's do estimate.
All right,
because
Cody will appreciate you. He loves estimate,
and I think
that's a fun room to have, like the whole room.
Yeah,
to honestly, both Seattle and Denver are fun rooms to have the whole room.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just again, Denver's offense, I think, is going to be top 10, maybe top 5 this year. So I want as many touchdowns from that offense that I can get.
All right, let's catch up with the chat. So yeah, we talked about the 3 quarterbacks when we don't know the buys. Excuse me. Ben says, I'm kind of mad I took Henderson over Kamara. How likely is it that he actually lives up to the ADP? I faded Henderson for the most part. I got 8% and heavy the other rookie early RBs. I mean, there is talk of like the he could be a 3 down back there. He's such a good pass blocker, that kind of stuff. I'm intrigued by it. And I really am high on like the Patriots, like really taking a leap this year with improved offensive line. The Josh McDaniel offensive coordinator, second year for Drake May, adding weapons, adding offense. So I'm kind of, I want my shares of Henderson. Let me put it that way. Your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah. And I mean, I do feel better about Kamara because even as bad as the Saints offense could be, there is no Taysom Hill, who's been his vulture the last couple of years. And even with Hill playing 9 games last year, whatever it was, Kamara finished as RB10 overall, 16 points per game. And RB10 overall is even more impressive considering he missed the last 3.5 weeks. He got injured before halftime, week 15 against Washington. Still had a very usable week that week, but didn't play 16, 17, or 18. So,
yeah,
I like both. Will take Kamara more than Henderson, but Henderson is in that range for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. Harmon said, take Damian Martinez to fully secure the backfield. That would have been funny for the bit. I mean, I don't think it would have been the wise choice, but that would have been funny for the bit. Mike Robb says, come on, Steve, get on the Chubb train. Yeah, I mean, I just had to, in that situation where we needed 6 running, some more quantity. I was like, if he goes to the Bears, I want a little Chubb. Yeah. And then Chuck Handle says, love Ollie Gordon, right stinks. It is like some of these running backs, we have to be like, they might stink. So I'm going to get this back up. Or, even though he stinks, he's on a good team. Like we talked about Jaden Blue, but love Ollie Gordon, right stinks. And I don't think McDaniel trusts right at all. I was taking right probably a little too much in like the beginning and middle of big board. And then I kind of pumped the brakes a little. How do you, so you see that backfield, like, are you kind of off right then? And you like right Ollie Gordon late as opposed to those two?
Yeah. Right now I'm kind of off of right. I mean, this is like a situation that we'll see what it is come July and August. And once the preseason games are, because for as great as Etienne is, he's not going to get a lot of usage inside the 5-yard line, inside the 10, and somebody else needs to be running in between the tackles. Wright doesn't have the perfect body type, but maybe he just wins it by being better. But yeah, I think Ollie has outs. This was one of the landing spots I think fit him pretty well.
All right, so this is my 3rd BBM. I did one on my own first day, our Sibling Showdown. This is our 2nd Sibling Showdown together. Let's take a look, and then let's look at everybody else's team. Of course, we'll go through our team quickly and then go through everybody else's team. From the 12 spot, 3, 6, 7, 2. Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, JJ McCarthy, all stacked. Got 20 picks past ADP on JJ McCarthy, RJ Harvey, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, got that Seattle backfield, DJ Giddens, Nick Chubb, Audric Estime, got that Denver backfield, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter stacked up, Khalil Shakir stacked, Jack Besh, Adam Thielen, Darius Slayton, and then TJ Hawkinson, Evan Ingram. So we got really high on Denver there. Yeah. And then Hawkinson stacked with JJ McCarthy. A couple whoopsie daisies, but I like it. I actually like it a lot. It's kind of a nice mix at all the positions, and kind of got some of the players that I feel like could go up more. So I'm really happy with it. How do you feel, Steve? And then we'll more importantly focus on everybody else's team.
Yeah, I mean, overall, really like the quarterback room. The wide receivers, I think, are very strong. And then the tight ends are like 2 guys, but it could be 2 top 10 tight ends. So
yeah,
I'm good with that. And running back room, I think we need a little luck, of course, but I think we definitely have 2 teams locked in with Denver and Seattle.
Yeah, we cornered the market on 2 teams. Yeah.
So, but we just need either Giddens or Chubb to have some usable weeks to kind of help balance us out, and we'll be fine. And hey, and in the playoffs, if we make it there, yeah, we need Denver and Seattle running backs to hit. If they do, we're gold. We're pretty golden.
Andrew says, I don't want to do too many with you 2 this year, respectfully. .. respectfully. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. I'll take that as a compliment. Ben says Ollie Gordon is a perfect fit to the McDaniel Shanahan run scheme. Yeah. This is a family show, Meg. Can't be saying if he goes to the Bears, you want a little chub. Been talking to Bruni too much. Absolutely. Let's see. Paul, and we will get to Andrew and Paul and Ben and Hartman, your draft in just 1 minute. I recall 6 of my first 12 drafts advanced out of their pods, probably because I was drafting off vibes. I believe the Achilles heel of best ball community is forcing correlations. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes when you overforce things, you can get yourself in trouble there for sure. Yeah, going a little overboard. Maybe it is going a little too overboard on like the playoff correlations, which we saw for the BBM winner. He didn't have any of that. So, I mean, I think, and that's just to say, like, I think it matters, but it's not like the be all end all. Like I don't think you should like sacrifice your team, like to force certain things. Just, I think there's a lot of things that in the best ball thing that people hyper focus on to, one strategy or another, when really the most important thing is just having a structurally sound and good player takes, probably, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. And as you said, like the schedule matters for, week 17 and playoff correlations in general, but really to me, it matters just as much for bye weeks and not being overexposed. Because if you don't get out of your pod, I don't care if you had that, Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Mims, super team, you just didn't make it.
Right.
So, that's kind of the point you're making. The winner didn't have it the year before the winner. Their bring back for the Packer, their Love Reed stack was Alexander Madison. Absolute dust, So it matters.
Sometimes, I was gonna say. I mean, it's not like these things don't matter at all. It's not like it's it's not like it doesn't matter at all. It's just, I think you don't want to overdo any one thing. Yeah. So, all right. So let's look at the other teams in the room here. And from the 6th spot, we got our guy, Andrew. Again, check out Andrew and Justin every Monday and Wednesday night here on the Fanspeak Network. 2682. Got the Burrow field stack, which we saw as we were going halfway through, stacked them both up like that. Quinshon Judkins, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, Ray Davis, Rashad White, like that, I pick a lot as well. Marshawn Lloyd, and then CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs. That's a really nice receiver room. And then followed up by Jalen Tolbert, DeAndre Hopkins, and Demario Douglas. And then David Njoku, and he's always been like Zach Ertz is still an amazing value. He was both of your and I's week 17 absolute hero. So he still is a good value for sure. So I kind of did the same thing, getting 2 just solid tight ends there. So I still like the, even though I lean 3 quarterbacks, I like the 2-6-8-2 because you feel like you kind of balance it out in the running back receiver room. And then he's got 2 really nice stacks with the Burrow stack and the Field stack. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, love the receivers, running backs, pretty solid, especially if like Javonte does have that lead role, then the running backs are looking real good. 2 very high-end quarterbacks. Tight end, if you were to like say peel off Demario Douglas and maybe take another late tight end, as much as I love Ertz, he is old, and David Njoku just has a deeper injury history than we went. And just as like Emo talked about, that Browns offense could just be so bad this year. So while I like the 2 tight ends, I just would that's where I would maybe add a third, just because I don't know how much Demario Douglas is getting on that with those receivers. How many times is Demario Douglas hitting your lineup would be the only thing that I would say.
Yeah, no, but I do like that he just did team correlation outside of his Jets and Cincy stacks. He does have Cleveland correlation, Dallas correlation. Was there other Tampa correlation? New England, multiple New England correlation, who I'm very high on the New England offense. But I just do like if we're going to lean into any one thing, I do love team correlation. So no, I like this team, Andrew. And most importantly,
I think it's very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And always love to see our guy Andrew in here. Let's go to Paul's team, Legion 13, 7 spot, 2-6-8-2. You got Jaden and Jared Goff, Kyron Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard, our guy Cam Scatterboo, J.K. Dobbins, Jerome Ford. Dobbins, that'll be an interesting. We talked about like the running back situations that could change. That'll be interesting if he with that what was that like what did they do with the
They
tag, Steve?
they did same thing that the Cleveland did for Elijah Moore. It didn't matter for Moore,
Oh, okay.
but they an unrestricted tender gave him a little bit more leverage, I guess you could say. But
yeah, that'll be
yeah,
interesting to see if he moves, so I think that's interesting to still, pick it late. And then so Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Chris Godwin, and then Trey Harris, Rashad Bateman, Josh Palmer, Keenan Allen, Isaac Tesla from Detroit. He's got Goff, and then excuse me, Kyle Pitts and Chig Okonkwo. So let's see, he's got Goff. Does he have? I'm trying to see if he has others.
Just the Tesla pick.
Okay. And then, but no, I mean, that's a really, really, really strong running back room. Those first four running backs are really, really strong. And then those first three receivers, I, absolutely love. And then nice upside swings, with Trey Harris, the, rookie mystery box, Rashad Bateman, and then kind of some, some depth pieces. And then, part of that, it'll be interesting. I don't know what to make of Detroit too. All these receiver rooms that feel a little crowded. I haven't taken Tesla yet, but I think it's certainly interesting. And then Kyle Pitts, Chig Okonkwo. So yeah, I mean, obviously these two quarterbacks can be very dangerous too. So no, I mean, every room, outside of maybe tight end feels really strong. What do you think about Paul's team, Steve?
Yeah, I like mixing Jaden with a guy like Goff, who has a strong floor, doesn't miss games, part of a great offense. And you have Jaden's just spike week upside. These are two of the top 10 quarterbacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't need to stack Jaden, obviously.
No.
And, sure, he Tesla is a mystery box, or maybe it's that, late season upside. He's such an athlete. But yeah, that running back room is very strong. That's going to probably carry pretty far, and still the wide receiver.
You're probably going to get the flex from, and that's how Steve and I like to build with the running back hitting the flex. People will be like, "Oh, your receiver room looks a little mid or weak," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, I need 3 running backs, 3 receivers." Obviously, we don't know how it'll work out each week, but we build for it that way, and I think he certainly built for it that way. That I think more often than not, the running back will hit the flex, and because that's a really strong running back room. So no, I like this team a lot, Paul. Very fun. We appreciate you in the draft. Appreciate you in the chat. Let's go to Hartman, DMH 09, 8 spot 2772, Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Robinson Jr., Tyron Tracy, Tyler Algier, Devin Neal, Will Shipley, Taj Brooks, who we talked about, Devontae Adams, Rashee Rice, Chris Olave, Roma Dunze, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dubs. We got the triple stack there. I mean, it's a crowded room, so you might as well get them. And I think for some of these crowded rooms, that does make sense to take multiple swings at it. And then obviously tight end anchored by Brock Bowers and Jake Ferguson, so it makes sense to do 2 there. So yeah, I think it was smart. He did 7 running backs for sure. So, he has a strong receiver room, and then he strongly built the Packers receiver room as part of his stack, and then has Mahomes stacked as well. But I think it's smart because he's anchored by Gibbs, but and then B-Rob, but then there is some kind of 1A, 1B or some contingent upside. So I like they did 7 running backs. I think that's smart. Running backs.
For not knowing the certainty of guys like Tracy and B-Rob, I think doing 7 is good. And then I think he's got good backups at those other ones. I mean, Neal, I think, is absolutely unseating Kendry Miller, and Will Shipley, I think, is for sure the number 2 back for Saquon.
Yeah, Andrew says he was being a good dad. He was helping out his youngest, and didn't realize he was up when he got Pop Douglas. It happens to the best of us. I took a Caleb Williams in the 50s the other day because I made a whoopsie star error. So it happens to the best of us. Paul says, thank you, Paul. We appreciate you. It will be here every Thursday, time TBD, and plenty of other fun drafts on this channel. So we appreciate you. Hartman says, hoping for Geno, but pushed him too far. Oh, because he had Bowers. So yeah, that makes sense. But no, Hartman, I like this team. I like this team a lot. I think it's like, again, it's you can do different structures, different builds, just do it the right way. And you absolutely did. You did like the anchor build with Gibbs, and then went 7 running backs. And I mean, some of these rookies could be fun, or Shipley, or these contingent upsides.
And 3 of the Packers receivers, one should be hitting your lineup every week.
Exactly.
And then so then it's like getting your other receiver spots to hit the other two and or a flex. So yeah, it's definitely doable. And then two really strong tight ends. I mean, if Ferguson's hitting your flex, sometimes that's no problem because you're just dominating with power.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be where Ferguson hits the flex. So, okay, finally we have Ben. What up, Watson? 10 spot 3582. Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert. He got the falling Dak, who we talked about at literally 28 spots past ADP, and this isn't like the Fugazi ADP, like that we're talking about from like the big board. Like where it's like, oh, his ADP said one thing, and then now it's totally, I have a Fugazi from Wolf of Wall Street. It's not playing loud enough, but and then it's really to Fugazi now. Like, no, this is like real live ADP 131 to 159. That's a massive fall. So that's amazing that you were able to get Dak there. So Baker, Herbert, Dak, Henry, James Cook, Travion Henderson, Jordan Mason, Tajay Spears. That's a solid running back room. I like a lot, with a nice mix of like just obviously workhorses, upside, nice, still has a nice role like Jordan Mason. So I love that. Ladd McConkey stacked, Mike Evans obviously stacked, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Williams, Cedric Tillman, Alec Pierce, Isovas, and then Convante Turpin is the one he stacked with Dak, and then George Kittle and Mike Gesicki. God, I like that tight end room to do two tight ends where you have Kittle, who's been, a top tight end, can definitely hit that ceiling. And then Mike Gesicki, I still don't understand why he's going late and went later in this draft at 183. I think he got a ton of amazing ADP value in this draft. The Dak fall, he even got some fall on like Travion Henderson. There's other guys like around ADP, but he got some nice falls at multiple key spots. 8 spots on Kittle, 4 spots on Gesicki. And these are like, again, this isn't like, ridiculous big board to BBM ADP. This is real ADP value here. I honestly love it. This might be my favorite team. I liked everybody's team. I think our team's fine, but I really like this team, Steve. I'm calling my shot. I'm giving this a minus 120 to be first. What do you think?
No, I mean, it's very strong. Baker, Herbert, and Prescott,
the quarterback and running back rooms, we value the quarterback and running back rooms the most in underdog scoring. These quarterback and running back rooms are ridiculous. They're good.
Yeah. And he still has an elite tight end room, not just with the Kittle, but like you said, Gesicki. And I think people are a little too down thinking like he only scored when Higgins was out. That just wasn't the case. Sure, his 2 touchdown game was then, but his targets and yards and snaps were actually more contingent based on Eric All's injury. They didn't replace the tight end situation. They gave him a lot of money. I think he's going to be the 3rd target in this offense. And I know he's a Silvis as well, but last year Silvis had like 6 touchdowns. What if those 6, what if it flips? Silvis has 2, Gesicki has 6. Like, he's going to be a smash play this year. So,
oh my God, absolutely. Yeah, no, I love this team a lot. Hartman says, thank you for the input. Can't do too many BBMs with you guys too sharp. I'll take that as a compliment from both you and Andrew. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. But no, we sincerely appreciate you guys being in the chat with us, watching, hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, supporting the channel. We appreciate that. We have a Best Ball subscription. It's now coming out early next week, hopefully by Monday. It'll have rankings. It'll have articles. It'll have sub-only shows. A lot of fun stuff coming your way. And the nice thing, Hartman, is we can do some marathon drafts together, because then it doesn't matter. There's no pods, exactly. Let's do some of those. I think after the schedule releases, Steve and I
we'll do more of those.
So there's some more diversity to like the different types of drafts on our channel. I think Steve and I will do more of the different breeds when they're available, and we will do more marathon and sprint, and probably just waiting for the schedule, which 2 weeks away. Next big benchmark for us Best Ball sickos. We got Chris in chat. Again, check out his show tomorrow, I believe 9:45 p.m. Eastern, 8:45 Central. He's doing a bunch of eliminator drafts with a bunch of different people in the Best Ball community, including Steve and I. So check that out. Always appreciate you in here. We appreciate everybody. Steve, final thoughts for the people before we get out of here.
Oh, no, thanks. Thanks everyone who joined us in draft. Thanks everyone who joined us in chat. Like we talked about, it's early, but it's fun. We'll get more information in 2 weeks, but still, I think like you mentioned, we had really good success early on last year, and I think it's lean into your takes and look at the landing spots. And I do think that helps with early success, because so many people are just trying to chase up or down certain value, and sometimes that hits, sometimes it doesn't. So right now, I would lean into more certainty. That's what I'm doing in my drafts, and I just generally recommend that for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Chad Cannell says, great stuff today. We always appreciate you. Hopefully we can do some streams with you this summer as well, but we always appreciate you joining us in here. So yeah, another fun one, Steve. We're actually going to tape some more of the rookie, like they're not, we have rookie shorts up too, but we have rookie short videos. Check them out on the channel under the best ball tab. It has already up Travis Hunter, RJ Harvey, and Caleb Johnson. We're about to tape Cam Scattaboo and Trey Harris, so look for that shortly. We're going to go do that. I know, I think in a half hour, excuse me, Emo Cowboy, who was in chat, Best Ball Guy, PBR Tyler are going to be on in about a half hour. So again, let's bounce around to channels this summer, get a lot of live drafts in, a lot of good information. We appreciate you in here drafting with us, talking with us. We will be back next Thursday, multiple times next week. And I will be back tomorrow with the said BBG, Eric, Best Guy will be on with me tomorrow at 4 p.m. here live on the channel. Another BBM coming your way then. So that was fun, Steve. So for Steve, I'm Meg, and we will see you guys next time.